Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to our respected panel, Dr. Siti Muhammad Yusoff and Madam Azni Syafena Andin Salamat. So before I proceed with the presentations on our research project with the title of A Study on the Factors Influencing Academic Performance among the Bachelor Administrative Science student at UiTM Kedah, I would like to introduce my name first. So my name is Nurul Binti Azhar from KAM 2286A. So as for the first slide, here is our presentation outlined that include introduction, background of study, problem statement, and others that will be explained in detail later. So without further ado, I will continue with the first part, which is the introductions and background of the study. So this research will conduct to find out the factors that influence the academic performance among Bachelor of Administrative Science students at UiTM Kedah. So academic performance of the student have a direct impact on the socio-economic development of the country. The performance of the student play an important role to a quality education which produce a quality graduate, serve as a base for knowledge acquisition which can help in the development of the country. So trends of the student admissions in higher learning institutions increased for the past few years have resulted on the effort and initiative took by the government as well as young people recognize that academic qualification gained from the university could help them to grab well-paid job if they can perform well in their studies. So in the article of cubicle or corner office effect of academic performance on university graduate employment likelihood and salary reveals that one way in seeking job with good salary prospects upon graduation is through acquiring excellent academic performance. So university and educators always stress out on the importance of achieving and maintaining good examination and result. So by looking at this stage, the quality of teaching and student performance were considered as important in order to achieve the target quality education essential for further contribution toward the country. So in prior studies, academic performance among students in university have been a major concern, where many researchers have shown their interest in understanding various factors that influence academic performance. Among the factors include such student factors, socio-economic status, parent qualifications, teaching style, as well as condition of the school facilities. However, even though studies has widened conducted in area of student academic performance, there remains significant variation on how any of these factors could affect the academic performance in the context of upper and higher learning institution. In Malaysia higher learning institutions. So this is due to the mixed findings reported by the existing studies between the relationship of these factors and academic performance. So as a result, the exact factors and how it could affect the student performance have not been fully examined, especially in the context of student in Malaysia university. So therefore, through this study, the researcher wanted to reveal the factors influencing academic performance by taking one public university, which is UiTM Kedah, to represent the academic performance among the students at tertiary education level. Next discussion is regard to the problem statement of the study. Okay, so based on this slide, there are three issues that are always associated with the academic performance of the student. So, for instance, the issues highlighted is the student failed to meet the minimum standard academic requirement, such acquire a low CGPA. So, a data from the study by NIC 2015 in the article of the factors influencing academic performance of the student in UiTM Kelantan, the diploma student enrolled in accountancy program, majority of them with 63% and 55% respectively obtain a GPA less than 3.00. And beside that, this issues such as student dropout from the university and fail at least one subject have significantly affected their academic performance. So for this part, I will present on the research question, research objective, and also hypothesis of the study. And based on the slide, there is five research question, research objective, and hypothesis respectively. And among of it, for instance, research question 1 is to test what is the extent of the academic performance among Bachelor of Administrative Science student at UiTM Kedah, and the others are tested based on the selected factors associated with the academic performance of the student. As for the scope of the study, these are research focused on the factors that influence academic performance among Bachelor of Administrative Science students and will be conducted at one public university in Sungai Petani, which is UiTM Kedah, located in district of Merbuk. So the time frame to conduct this research are 2 semesters from March 2020 until January 2021. And the respondent to that are selected among the student, including male and female students from UiTM who are currently pursuing their studies in Bachelor of Administrative Science program. Okay, next for the significance of the study. At first, the study intends to investigate the factors influence academic performance of the student which pursuing their studies at high level. Next, this study will also relatively contributed toward the management of the tertiary educational institution, enable the management, which is head of the university, staff and lecturers to conduct further investigation. Furthermore, through conducting this study, the researcher could help to create the awareness and get attention among the readers on the important factors which may influence the academic performance of the students, and followed by the information from the research can serve as future reference to other researchers on the subject forecast. The discussion will be continue with the literature review done by adopting the past study or research regarding on the academic performance of the student for every IV and DV. For instance, factors such time management according to Subramaniam 2016. Time management refer to set of principle, practice, skill, tool and system in which work together with the aim towards improving quality of life. The supported result from the past study could be derived in the research article of the time management, external motivation and student academic performance evident from Malaysian public higher learning institution through the survey questionnaire. Finding of the study indicate that there is significant positive relationship between time management and student academic performance. Okay, as for the part of the conceptual framework, based on the slide, these are among of our factors consists of independent and dependent variable. As for IV, include the time management, study habit, teaching method, class and class attendance, while the DV for the studies is academic performance.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurafiqah binti Muhammad Zaidi. So now I will proceed to explain on the chapter 3 research methodology. So for the first one is the research design. Here in this study, the researchers has used the quantitative method. Number 2, unit of analysis refer to the object or person from which the researcher collect the data. So here in this study, the researchers collect the data from the students of Bachelor of Administrative Science at UiTM Kedah. Okay, so for the population in this study comprise 576 students from Bachelor of Administrative Science at UiTM Kedah. So for the sample size here, the researchers has taken all the Part 6 students which comprise of 32 students excluding both researchers from the Bachelor of Administrative Science at UiTM Kedah. So according to the Roscoe 1975 has mentioned that 30 to 500 sample size was adequate and appropriate. And in this study, the reason why the researchers take the Part 6 students because of the high accessibility of this respondent, since the questionnaire need to be distributed by using the Google form. Okay, so for the sampling technique here, the researchers use the cluster sampling technique as well as the census sampling technique. Okay, for the measurement and instrumentation, the researcher used the nominal, ordinal and interval scale. Okay, for the data collection, okay, the researcher has used the self-administered questionnaire to be distributed by using the Google form to the respondents. And for the data analysis, the researchers has used the descriptive analysis and Pearson correlation coefficient analysis in order to analyze the data. Okay, moving on to the chapter 4 findings. So I will explain first regarding to the data cleaning. Okay, during the researchers conduct the data cleaning, one of the answer from the respondent has been identified as an outlier that affect the normality test become abnormal. So the researcher has taken out the respondent answer. Here in this study, the respondent become 31 students. Okay, for the reliability testing, all the variables has been in the range of the excellent and good value. And for the normality testing, all the variables are normally distributed. And for the demographic profile, the respondent has been asked for 6 items to be filled in the questionnaire. Okay, moving on to the finding by research objective. For the research objective number 1, to know the extent of the academic performance among the students. So here, based on the findings, okay, the mean for the academic performance is 30.55. So this shows that okay, the level okay, of the academic performance among the Part 6 student from the Bachelor of Administrative Science is at a high level. Okay, moving on to the research objective number 2, to identify the relationship between the time management and academic performance among the Bachelor of Administrative Science student at UiTM Kedah. So, based on the finding, you can see there, okay, there is a significant relationship, okay, between the time management and academic performance among the students. Besides, the strength for the relationship is at the strong level. So, thus, the alternative hypothesis is accepted. Okay, moving on to the research objective number 3, to examine the relationship between the study habits and the academic performance among the Bachelor of Administrative Science students at UiTM Kedah. So, based on the findings and the values stated, there is a significant relationship between the study habits and academic performance among the students. Besides that, the strength for the relationship is at the strong level. So, thus, the alternative hypothesis is accepted. Okay, moving on to the research objective number 4, to measure the relationship between the teaching method and also the academic performance among the Bachelor of Administrative Science student at UiTM Kedah. So, based on the findings and values stated there is a significant relationship between the teaching method and academic performance among the students. The strength for the relationship is at the strong level. So, thus, the alternative hypothesis can be accepted. Okay, for the last research objective number 5, to identify the relationship between the class attendance and academic performance among the Bachelor of Administrative Science student at UiTM Kedah. So, based on the findings in the slide, you can see there and the value stated, there is a significant relationship between the class attendance and academic performance among the student. Besides, the strength for the relationship is at the strong level. So, thus, the alternative hypothesis is accepted. Okay, moving on to the discussion on findings. So, based on the findings for the research objective number 1, to know the extent of academic performance among the student, so it demonstrates that there is a high extent of academic performance among the Bachelor of Administrative Science students at UiTM Kedah. Okay, moving on to the research objective number 2. Okay, the finding for the research objective number 2, there is a significant relationship between the time management and academic performance has been supported by the several researchers such as Hamzah and others 2014 and Kazantra and others 2013, in which indicate that there is a positive relationship between the time management and academic performance among the students. Thus, it indicates that the time management practice by the student can has a positive influence towards their academic performance. Okay, moving on to the research objective number 3. Based on the findings of the research objective number 3, there is a significant relationship between the study habits and academic performance among the students has also been supported by the several researchers such as Evans and Julius 2018, Amin and others 2017, Maraya 2018, and also Asri and others 2016, in which also indicate there is a positive relationship between the study habits and academic performance among the students. So thus, it indicates that the study habits practiced by the students also has a connected to their academic performance. Okay, moving on to the research objective number 4. Based on the finding, there is a significant relationship between the teaching method and academic performance among the students has also been consistent with the some researchers such as Munawarah 2017, Al-Agili 2013, and Guyanfu 2013, in which these researchers also indicate that there is a positive relationship between the teaching method and academic performance among the students. Thus, it implies that the academic performance among the students also depends on the teaching method by the lecturer. Okay, for the last research objective number 5, okay, based on the finding has indicate that there is a significant relationship between the class attendance and academic performance among the student has also been consistent or supported by the several researchers such as Ahmed and others 2013 and Federal Maula 2018, in which these researchers has also indicated there is a positive relationship between the class attendance and academic performance among the students. Thus, it indicates that attending class by the students has also influenced toward the positive result on their academic performance.
Next is regard to the limitations of the study. As for the first limitation found is small number of respondents involved in the study, in which there are only 32 respondents involved. Second is regard to the limitation of variable to the study, in which there are only 4 variables are chosen, such as time management, study habit, teaching method, and as well as class attendance. Furthermore, unattractive way of collecting data, as well as one location choose to conduct the study are found as the limitation in this study. Recommendation was proposed to overcome the limitation in order to conduct future studies. So among of it, as a limited respondent involved, it is suggested to include greater number of respondents. Next is add or include other suitable variable in order to conduct the study, so that more reliable information will be or could be explored. Besides that, use more interested way of collecting data, such as through direct observation or interview, rather than using one method like questionnaire. And lastly, choose the location that include more broader respondent that come from various background. And for the last part of discussion is the conclusion. Firstly, this study discussed about the academic performance among the Bachelor of Administrative Science student at UiTM Kedah. For overall result obtained, there is significant relationship between time management, study habit, teaching method, class attendance, and academic performance of the Bachelor Administrative Science student. So the researcher have used the SPSS software to analyze all the factors and distribute questionnaire through the Google form. And lastly, the researchers have demonstrated on some implication, limitation, and recommendation for this research study.